And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and rock god Rick Mexa.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way with Captain Benny Florentino from Coastal Charters. We're having a great time this morning, talking fishing, talking fun, and we want to talk to you this morning. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup, there's 2 ways you can be on the show. First, call us on our local line. That's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090, or you can get us on that toll-free number. That one's 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Been a very, very busy morning on the phones, and there is a toll-free line open. Again, 877-792-1090. Not only your chance to talk to Captain Benny, but also your shot at winning a great prize, giving away a brand-new pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. It's the What's Up frame in that matte black wood grain finish. Also the great neutral gray lens, just an awesome pair of glasses from Maui Jim. In addition to that, another lucky caller is going to win a custom 4-pack of jigs from Kicker Jigs and hand-pick some of Benny's favorites. And I know that those are one of your favorite surface iron lures to fish. And I know that once your boys became part of Kicker, some custom colors, very Calico bass friendly, very traditional, really good jigs too. Good rings, good hooks.
Absolutely. And, we're going to include a couple of yellowtails, so you're going to have a pretty good mix. Probably 2 yellowtail jigs and 2 calicos are my favorites. That's been very successful after the last few years. And, one thing, if you want to go look at some of the product they have online, kickerfishing.com, and it's pretty interactive, Instagram page, but they do try to stay current on what's happening as far as colors, colorways, and also introduce new colors as they come out and keep them for a limited time. So they try to incorporate some of those limited time colors into the mix.
That's awesome. Very cool. I know you do a lot with helping a lot of people out, research, gear, things like that. One of the things you and I were talking about during the break was some of the new outer waters from AFCO. I'm a skiff guy just like you are, and don't get me wrong, my 25 Parker is about as solid riding of a center console as you could ever be in ever. That being said, it's still a skiff and it's still center console. When that wind gets up around 15 knots, having good outer water gear is the world, and
it's essential.
It is. It's totally essential. If you're a skiff guy, you got to have it.
Absolutely. That you always get that question. Hey, is your center console dry? Well, it's a center console.
Yeah.
But I did some field research work with my son Matt, who is their marketing manager at AFCO, and I went out with Abe and Dino, who also helps design the new anhydrous outerwear, and along with that, it's a layering kind of deal where they also have a fleece that's water resistant, so you can almost, layer up and layer down. But that new anhydrous, they've done fantastic work to it. Soon to be released, I believe the end of October is what they told me, right in time for the cold season, but lightweight, dry, comfortable, pockets that, you can put your cell phone in that's dry. Just some really, the zippers on it are dry. The tapes, tape seams, exceptional.
One of the things I like so much about AFCO's options in their foul weather gear is that they have both things to keep you warm, but more importantly, they got a lot of things that are just keep you dry, because most of our running is coming back from an awesome day at Clemente, where you're not necessarily looking for a super heavy insulated jacket, and a lot of the other manufacturers out there, they're good waterproof jackets you bake in. We're not looking necessarily, you got your sweatshirt on. I need something to keep me dry all the way home, and AFCO has so many good options of really good waterproof but lightweight, easy to fish in, easy to throw on real quick for the run home, and then when you get done, zip it off, and you're not sweating to death.
We live in California. It doesn't get very cold, and we dress up to dress down. A pair of AFCO technical shorts and tech shirt, and then you wear a fleece wear over that, and then your suit, and you're good, and maybe a good pair of deck boots. and you're good to go.
That's it.
That's all you need. And then, as you get to the island or wherever you get to, strip that stuff down and then fish and put it back on for the ride home.
That's it, man. I like it. Well, the phones are packed, Benny. Everybody's excited to talk to you again. If you want to get through, the only line open, 877-792-1090. We're going to go out to Moreno Valley. Start off the second hour with Brian. Good morning, Brian. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
Question for Rick and one for Benny. The one for Benny, I was wondering if he's seen any increase in the population of calicos after the closures. I don't know how long the closures have been out now. And then for Rick, I'm going on Shogun December, and I just found out my passport has not been renewed, so I need to get a new one. And what's the fastest way?
I gotcha. Well, as far as the fastest way, Moreno Valley, I don't know how much quicker it would be for you to come all the way down here, but the fastest way is, we're lucky out on the West Coast here. We have 2 passport issuing agencies, one in San Diego, one in Los Angeles. I don't have any experience with one in Los Angeles, but I know the one in San Diego, it's about the only way to fly. It's mostly appointment only. If you just did a Google search for San Diego Passport Agency, I'm sure the same thing would happen in Los Angeles. And you can get a passport. I mean, in an emergency situation, you can get a passport in 24 hours. There's a lot of services out there, and I would always say, buyer beware. There's a lot of things online that are emergency, 24-hour, 48-hour turnaround passport agencies. A lot of them do the same thing that you could do if you just make an appointment and you basically walk it through. How it works is, you'll go onto their website, you'll fill out all the information that they're going to need for you ahead of time. You'll show up with that information filled out, and your passport photos, and proof that you need your passport in an emergency amount of time, and then they will determine whether they get it done in 24 hours or 48 hours, or if it's not an emergency, you just want it done as quickly as possible, then the standard time would be 3 days to a week. I mean, it's a very short amount of time because they actually process the passport at the agency. Aside from that, I mean, you're still in plenty of time, Brian, that you could go the route of of one of the services, or you could go to your local post office or something. But if it were me, know you're going to Guadalupe, know you want to not have any risk, get it done in a week or so, I would just make a trip down to San Diego, do the passport issuing agency. They'll probably get it done in 3 to 7 days, and just have them mail it to your house. You'll be good to go. Come down, get some Point Loma seafoods, hang out, see some tackle shop, get your passport dealt with, and you'll be good to go.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah, and as far as your question for Benny?
Yeah, has he seen an increase in calicos since the closures?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've definitely seen an increase in population for sure. A lot of that 12 to 13 inch calico around, not only at the island but locally especially. It's actually been a godsend because when you get kids fishing, they can whale on those little guys all day. So. But no, it looks good. The population's healthy, and it looks strong for the future. Trying to get those bigger ones to bite because there's those little guys around is another question, but it's okay. It's good to see the populations, and more of the anglers are being educated and are actually not taking as many. We're trying to educate them every day out on the water. Hey, anything over 4 pounds, let's save that one. Let's keep a couple of 4-pounders if you want to take, because I do allow people to take, even though I'm a catch and release guy. They have every right to keep, they have a license. They have every right to keep whatever they'd like, limits or not. That's up to them. But great question, and it's healthy. It's healthy out there.
That's good news.
Yes,
Brian,
sir.
appreciate the phone call very much.
Brian.
Thanks a lot for that. How about we next up talk to Danny? He's calling us from Chula Vista this morning. Hey, Danny, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great, good morning.
Good. I went on the 3/4 day last week. I didn't do so well. I'm going up tomorrow, but the numbers look up and down, and, tomorrow's the hottest day of the week. Do you think the Santa Ana winds are able to bring those pelagics closer to us?
Hey, Danny, you know what? You get to go fishing tomorrow. I think that's a bonus right there. And I always tell that, people ask me, I get people to call me, goes, the moon phase and the tides and all that. I go, hey, if every day I get to spend on the water is a good day. So if anything, catching is secondary. I understand you want to get into that. As you can hear Woolie's report, it looks pretty good. Yeah. It looks really good. So I think you picked a good day, and if anything, you're getting a nice suntan out there, that's for sure.
I think, we heard Mike from the Tribute call us this morning and say that there is already bluefin being seen by a lot of guys, that yellowfin was up yesterday. I mean, I think that they were definitely on an upswing right now, and a lot of times as Santa Ana's really flatten out our kind of local fishing, the wind coming from the other direction, it kind of knocks that swell down, and boy, this is, if there's a setup for a favorite time of year to fish, it's in the fall, crowds are down, especially when you get that Santa Ana condition.
Absolutely.
A lot of times you get flat, calm ocean. I mean, you can't ever make the fish bite, Danny, but a lot of the other things are sure in your favor right now.
Right.
Got it. Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Good luck,
appreciate
Danny.
the phone call very much. Thanks a lot for that. That's the other thing that's been so cool about this year, seeing how good that local 3/4 day offshore fishing has been. Just trip after trip after trip, seeing the San Diego, the Liberty, all the guys out there just trip after trip having really good fishing that, in years past, I mean, to go out and expect to see a 25 or 30 pound yellowfin on a 3/4, this is unheard of stuff.
We're real fortunate. I know we kind of oversee, we want to get on those big bluefin, but for local fishing, a 5 to a 3 or 4 trip and able to catch a limit of tuna or yellowtail, we're pretty lucky out here.
And the way we're being able to fish it, where you can have your Trinidad 16 and a 25 or 30 pound, Terramar 8-foot heavy and a Colt Sniper. I mean, you can get the job done about as fun a way of fishing tuna as you'd ever want to do.
Absolutely, yeah. If you want to just fish straight lures and get on them right away, that's the absolute perfect outfit. That's how I outfit my boat for fishing a lot of that breaking tuna. Is just 60-gram Colt Sniper and a Trinidad 16 and 40-pound leader. I mean,
that's
fun stuff.
That's super awesome. Yeah. Hey. Phones have been packed all morning long. We do have an opportunity for the first time on our local line now. That one's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. Hey, I want to remind you a very fun event coming up very soon, right around the corner, October the 1st, the fun CCA event. It's the Craft Food and Beer Festival at the Portuguese Hall in San Diego, right next to the Shelter Island Launch Ramp. Going to be a great event. All the money going to CCA. It's only $50 for a ticket, and part of that $50 includes your year-long membership to CCA. So not only are you going to get to enjoy all the craft food and craft beer that's going on, we heard Almeida talking on the show yesterday. Over 7 of the major different craft beer vendors going to be there. A bunch of killer food trucks going to be there. It's just going to be a lot of fun. Huge raffles going on, too. There's trips and tackle and gear and destinations and food and all kinds of really cool raffles going on. It's just going to be a really fun event. I'm going to be there. Can't wait. Going to have a great time and just get to hang out and rub elbows with a bunch of friends in the fishing business and talk fishing and drink some great beers and eat some great foods. And better than everything is your money's going to CCA. It's our voice, it's our opportunity. Brian is talking about closures and all these things, and there's one group out there that's definitely got our back and fighting for everything that's our rights for fishing, and that's the CCA. And it's just going to be a fun event, man.
Absolutely, really cool. Stronger than ever. So
again,
great.
yeah, Saturday, October the 1st, it's at Portuguese Hall. For more information, you can jump on CCA.com. CCA California will get you directions, or you can find Lewis on Facebook. But again, $50, going to be a great event, lots of fun, and I hope to see everybody down there. Let's jump back in the phones, talk to Jerry. He's calling us from Garden Grove this morning. What's up, Jerry?
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Benny. Hey, this is specific for you, Benny. I have a Corrado 300E on that 711 Terramar, and I just picked up the 300 EJ. I'm looking for a perfect Terramar for that. What do you recommend for like 3/4 day? Because I have all the Trinis, and you get on these sport boats. It's so nice to just take a level line to be able to pick a spot and hit it.
No, roger that. That's an ideal. That 300 EJ, I team them up with the Terramar MH, 80 MH. Seems to be a perfect fit. You can throw, a Colt Sniper jerk, with that, or weedless, or swim bait. A lot of options with that outfit. And if you really wanted to, just tie a light leader and, fly line a small sardine or a chovy. But it's great for throwing the artificials. Waxwing, it's made perfect for throwing the waxwing.
That's cool. Did they carry an off-market clamp I could pick up for that?
For the 300 EJ, if you're getting the Terramar, it does come with a reel seat, right. So you don't have to worry about that a clamp deal. And I know if you look to something else, majority of for that reel, any of the bait casting rods will have clamps or have reel seats.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good one.
Jerry, appreciate the phone
Jerry.
call very much. Beauty of that thing, too, versatility, like you said, from small yellow all the way up to all your calico bass fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's ideal.
For sure. Hey, let's jump back into him. Talk to John. He's calling us from Long Beach. Hi, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, John.
Benny, I wanted to ask you on your full-day charters local, what are the hours on that?
The hours are 8, but I've been known to stay out later. I don't run double half days or anything like that. So
yeah,
it generally starts at 6 to 2 to 3 and even 4 sometimes. It depends on you and how fishing is. It's a good way to, one, you get that quality time. I don't have to be at the dock. I don't have to be at the dock back at 2. So fishing time for me is fishing time. I try to get you 8 solid hours of fishing, run time not included. But, I've been known to run to Newport the Pipe and then end up at Rocky Point all in one day. So, and fishing in between. So it just gives you an opportunity to run. And needless to say, I've run to Catalina, fish yellows in the morning, and come to PV and finish up fishing weedless in the afternoon. So there's a lot of versatility when you talk about skiff fishing.
I think we're reading between the lines here, fishermen. Yeah, you can't put a time on that.
No, it's tough.
The local calico bass fishing up here has just been phenomenal from about Point Furman around to Rocky Point. It's the best I've seen it in quite a few years.
I agree. There's been some really nice fish being taken from females. I mean, the largest fish by a female on the boat is like 8 on a waxwing and a Therese medium heavy spinning rod and a Stratic 5000. And then, I think we've got a few over 7, number over 7 and a couple over 8 surface iron fish. So absolutely. And then numbers, pure numbers. I mean, sometimes I get bummed when people are catching, 15 to, oh man, it was a tough day. And they're like, are you kidding? We had like a phenomenal day. So I have to refocus and realize that, yeah, we have really good fishery up there at PV.
Well, I was out on the half-day boat about 3 weeks ago, and a little girl that was about 5 years old that could barely stand up to the rail caught an 8.5-pound calico because her dad weighed it on his scales when he brought it in.
That's so cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'd love to hear that.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
John, appreciate the phone call
John.
very much. Benny, what's the condition of the kelp like up and down the beach? I know that we've had so much hot water and big surf in the wintertime. Those two things are not great for the production of kelp, but it's such a quick growing thing. What's the scenario like? Because you cover all of it, from the Baja all the way up above.
Yep. PV right now, it's flourishing. The one thing about PV, there's a big drop-off off the edge of the beach there, so it gets a lot of upwelling. When we get a south swell from Mexico, that upwelling, that swell pushes cold water from the deep up on the beach, and we've had temperatures down to like 57 when it's 70-plus outside.
No kidding.
That cold water really does replenish that kelp. That stuff grows a foot a day when it's in ideal conditions, but it's healthy right now. I mean, weedless fishing is pretty darn good out there. The bass are flourishing in it right now. Got a healthy spawn this year.
When you see big areas farther down south that don't have the major kelp beds that you see, and then obviously with this hot water, when that kelp thins and grows or dies off or whatever, how long does it take for things like that to rebuild themselves? Like how quickly can a large kelp area that was affected by hot water and things, how quickly can they regenerate?
A good example is Cedros Island. Mm-hmm. I mean, God, where's the kelp?
Yeah, there's not a leaf. Period.
I would probably give it, if we have cold months and cold water, I'd give it about 5 to 6 months to really come back healthy.
That quickly, though.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
it was amazing. You talk about no kelp. I mean, we did the private plane thing to Cedros back in June with my good friend Ali and Roger Eckhart from Save-On, and we drove over Sac Reef, no kelp.
Yeah.
All the spots at Cedros around the island, no kelp. It's just amazing. So in years past, you fly by that, and you can see kelp after kelp after kelp, and all you see is just isolated kelp stringers. But PV right now is healthy. And even San Clemente, we were talking about it yesterday, how the west end and parts of the back look real healthy.
Do you have to target those fish differently when there's a lack of kelp? I mean, obviously they'll just associate with rock and things like that. Do you differ your tactics when you're fishing for calico bass? Do you concentrate more on a lead head and swim bait, or is the weedless bait with a heavier hook still the way to go? How do you kind of counter that when the kelp is lesser?
And that's a really good point, Rick, because you have to start patterning fish. Okay, you know they're there, but how do you react them to bite to the lure? And a lot of times with a swim bait, you can cover all depths of the water column. Like yesterday, Steve was getting bit on the sink bait, on the sink, and then on the wind up halfway up. So the fish were in that lower water column, and the weedless wasn't a player. The fish weren't up eating. So, you just have to kind of pattern the fish.
Sure.
And, when you're throwing a weedless as a locator and they start chewing it right away, they're in that upper water column. And I just tell people, hey, if you ever go to the Scripps or Long Beach Aquarium and you see those calico bass kind of in the bottom half or the upper half, it kind of tells you what they're doing season to season.
Sure. That's a good call. Very good call. Hey, appreciate the phone call very much. Let's go live. Captain Buzz calling us from the Prowler this morning. What's up, Buzz?
Rick, we're headed down. There was some very good kelp patty fishing down here just below Collinette yesterday, and we're just about 5 miles from a water break that kind of marks the upper end of it, so we're chomping at the bit.
I'll bet you are, Buzz. Well, I know there's some good fishing going on. We talked to Captain Mike Pritchard this morning, said there's some big fish biting up above, and I know you guys had another great day yesterday. This season is just rolling right along, and now having the extra of some good kelp patty fishing, it seems like we're really getting into the fall swing of things.
I mean, fine fall fishing is definitely going on right now, and we finished the day with a stop on that 25 to 35 pound yellowfin yesterday. That was just excellent. I mean, we came up on a shiner that turns just pounding the surface, and they reacted to the first scoop of bait we threw, so that was pretty neat. Like I said, we're down here on the kelps today, and it's just over the horizon.
Life is good, man. Fish on the screen, and the weather's right, the fishing's right. This is the time that we all look for. Kids start to go back to school, loads are lightening up, and the fishing is just happening.
And beautiful weather, and we've got day-and-a-half trips scheduled all week through next weekend, and each trip is a definite go. So if a guy wants to go fishing and get in on some of this fine fall variety fishing, now's the time.
Now, we talked to Mike a little bit this morning. I know that it really varies what a guy is going to run into. If somebody were going fishing right now, Buzz, what's the appropriate amount of gear for them to bring?
Just bring the whole garage, Rick. You know how that goes.
You just don't know if you're going to be pulling on, 100-pound bluefins or, catching kelp patty yellows in Dorado. That 25-pound yellowfin has been biting. And I know last time we talked to you, you said it was important to be fishing slightly scaled down tackle for that yellowfin, smaller hooks because the bait has been on the small side. Is that still the case?
Is the case, but I got to tell you, when you've got everybody rigged up for that technique and you slide in on one of those spots like Pritchard did this morning or Gavin did at dark yesterday, boy, you really get worked.
Sometimes those are good problems to have, though.
They are very good problems to have, but I would say the guy wants to bring a light bait outfit, like 20 or 25, and number 1 hooks and fluorocarbon leader. But at the same time, he wants to bring a good 40 to 60-pound outfit, just in case you get a crack at those big blues or some of that bigger yellowfin, which is around.
Awesome. Great information, Buzz. We sure appreciate it. I'm stoked that you're right on the horizon, getting ready to get your kelp patty game on. If somebody wants to come fishing on board the Prowler, is there opportunities this week?
There are opportunities this week. We still have spots available, and I'd say call the landing at 619-221-8500 and ask for the Prowler.
Awesome. Great job, Buzz. Glad you had a great day again yesterday. We wish you continued success for this one. Appreciate the check, and we'll look forward to talking to you real soon.
All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, Buzz. Thanks a lot for that. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great information. We got catch reports, your phone calls. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Hey everybody, this is Captain Dwayne Diego, 4-pack charter captain, here to talk to you about Parker Boats and the good folks at West Coast Marine. When it came time to start pinnacle sport fishing and get my own boat, there was only one choice. I wanted a Parker. Then there's a real good reason for it. The fishability and seaworthiness. I've been fishing on Parkers for years now, and I know the abuse they can take. Parker Marine builds a heavy-duty, industrial-strength boat, probably overbuilt, but that's what I need when we're out 12 hours a day, over 300 days a year, running charters. The guys at West Coast Marine built me one heck of a fishing boat. From the custom tower with steering and throttle controls to the backup bait pump system, my Parker 2520 XLD will deliver me to the fishing grounds reliably and safe. Take it from me. If you're ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, honest deal, you need to see Kevin Kelly at West Coast Marine, located at 1555 Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check them out and their inventory and information online at westcoastmarine.com.
The Southwest Council of the International Federation of Fly Fishers invites anyone and everyone to its annual fly fishing fair, Friday, October 14th through Sunday, October 16th in Bishop, California. Pick from a stacked list of seminars, events, and classes offered by some of the biggest experts in the region on fly tying, fly casting, and fly fishing techniques, tailored for beginner and experienced anglers alike. And while you're at it, spend some time on the water at local hotspots with some of the area's top guides while learning innovative techniques and practices. Mark your calendar now for October 14th to the 16th at the Tri-County Fairgrounds in Bishop. Registration opens October 14th at Southwest Council IFFF.org. Tickets are $15 for individuals and $20 for families, good for all 3 days. Check the website for lodging and information and more. Southwest Council IFFF.org or the links page at hookup1090.com. See you in October in the heart of the Eastern Sierra.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day-and-a-half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
If the fish are biting, I'm on my boat, rain or shine. Of course, I wear my life jacket. It's like wearing a seatbelt. Clip it on, grab my tackle box, and hit the water.
Love California, vote California, save California. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 18 stores throughout Southern California and 3 in San Diego County. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Having a great time with Captain Benny Florentino from Coastal Charters in here, talking fishing, talking fun, talking tackle. And again, if you want to get through 858 area code 457-1090, that's your local number, or toll free at 877-792-1090. Also giving away 2 just awesome prizes today at the end of the show today. First of which, a brand new pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. It's the What's Up frame, a great fisherman-friendly pair of Maui Jims with that black wood grain frame style and the neutral gray lens. Really killer pair of Maui Jims, as well as a 4-pack of hand-picked colors from Benny Florentino, those great kicker jig surface irons. So really a couple of great prizes. Again, if you want to get through, the only line open, looks like our toll-free line got gobbled up there, but we do have a local line still open, 858 457-1090. That's your shot right now. Let's jump right back into the phones and talk to Doug, who's calling us from Montebello this morning. Doug, good morning. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, 2 questions for Benny. When you guys fish the coast, what temperature are you looking at? And then when you're tournament fishing, how long will you look at the water before you even put a cast into the rocks?
Well, as far as the tournament fishing thing, Doug, is, I've already done my research prior to, so I already have a pretty good idea what area I'm going to cover. The big question is when you practice fish or pre-fish, what are you looking for? I'm just trying to find groups of fish, the bigger fish. You can find lots of fish, but what you're really concentrating on is where those bigger fish are located and where they're at, especially bunches of them. And then as far as water temp, I'm looking for consistent water temp over the last few days. And I always refer to temp like for people. We have cold weather. First day of cold weather, people tend to kind of, I don't know if I'm going to go out. I'll kind of be, kicked back, a little lazy. But after a few days of cold weather, you're over it. You're just up and doing your normal thing. Same with the warm temperature. So I really do believe that the bass are the same way. You get a spike in temperature down, they're going to be down. If you're going to get a spike in temperature up, they're still going to be down. But if it stays consistent, constant water temp, if it's going to stay 56 for a week or two, believe those fish are going to be acclimated and, resume their normal eating habits and their them moving through the kelp forest.
Is it true that when things are slow, you need to speed up or slow down as far as presenting your lures, or is speed sometimes, even though the fish aren't as active, being quicker presents more cast to more fish, and even though they're quote unquote slow, you're still kind of power fishing through it because you're presenting more casts? Yeah, I know that whole thing is when it's slow, low and slow is a term that's used a lot. I like reactionary fish. I'll throw the surface iron in 56-degree water because I'm trying to get a fish, and usually the bigger ones will react to something big and moving fast in front of them because their number one priority in life is to eat. And, if they're not going to let a meal come by them, especially a big meal to eat. I posted something on Instagram the other day of a little greenling the size of an 8-inch MC swim bait that had puked it up after I hooked it on a bait. No kidding. Yeah. It's a pretty cool looking picture, side by side, very similar size. Actually, I had Robert from CC8 out here from Houston, cool. And Wayne Cateau. They were out for this before our meeting a week ago Wednesday. So, but we just couldn't believe it. Things spit it up, and the bait was still in its mouth. It's really cool. That's right. That's awesome. Well, hey, appreciate the phone call, Doug. Thanks, very much. Thanks a lot for that. Let's jump right back into him. Talk to Brett. He's calling us from Winchester this morning. Good morning, Brett. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Brett.
Hey, I got a question. For both of you, maybe. What's my maintenance fees if I start getting into my own boat here? I don't know, on your Parker or your Ranger per year. What's it going to cost me to maintain that boat? I go with friends, and they're always like, "You can have this boat right here," because they're done putting money into it.
It all depends. We work off a 100-hour service plan, and I just had a 100-hour service done, and the last one before that was a month ago. So it all depends how much you run. An average boater will probably do 100 hours in a year. I think that's a pretty good guesstimate. Yeah. But, guys like Ricky and myself that run quite a bit, our 100 hours could be within 3 months, depending. The cost on it, you'd have to find your maintenance, any of the places that service it. It could be up to $600 for some of the larger motors. It could be as low as $300 depending on the size of the motor.
I think if you're a guy that does a newer style outboard service on your own, you can do parts and your own labor, and you can do a 100-hour service in that $150 to $200 range. And taking it to somebody to get serviced, I think Benny hit the nail on the head, between $300 and $600, depending on what you're getting done, whether or not you're changing your water pump. We're at least on our maintenance schedule, we're a little overboard. We change our water pump more than necessary, but it's just one of those things that it doesn't cost that much more in the grand scheme of things. And same deal. I think we're up to 700 hours so far this season, but the boat runs all the time between myself and my boat partner. The boat's fishing 2 days a week, and they're they're 10-hour days. I mean, they rack up pretty quick when the boat's going a whole bunch. So it just really depends on how often you're going. And, the other thing, too, is when you're running the boat that often, sure, your 100-hour services come up a lot more frequently, but other things don't come up that often. The best thing you can do for an outboard motor is drive it and run it all the time. Yep. Keep good oil in it, keep good clean fuel in it, keep the water out of it, and you run it all the time. There's nothing better for it. The worst thing you can do for an outboard is let it sit.
Let it sit, right. Another key thing is if you are looking for a boat or with a motor and you're concerned about hours, a lot of times guys leave especially the newer motors, the 4-strokes, they let them run a lot. So you're going to see hours that are not running hours. So you could have them put on a dyno and ask for, RPM hours. That way it'll tell you what those running hours actually are instead of idle hours. So keep that in mind.
That's a really good call. You don't think about it in the old school days of the 2-stroke. You never let that thing run. It was loud and smoky and things like that. As soon as you got there, you kicked it off. Our motor pretty much gets turned on when we get on the boat, and it gets turned off when we're stepping off the dock. They're so quiet. We have that Yamaha 300, and you just don't know the thing's running. I mean, it's so quiet. The pumps and the tunes are playing way louder than the motor is anyway. So that's a really good point. But you find yourself a good 4-stroke, Brett, that's been well taken care of. It's gonna cover you for a long time to come.
And what kind of electronics you guys putting on your boats?
Well, I believe Ricky and I both have Navico, which is Lowrance. I have Lowrance Touch Gen 3s, which are great. Great, easy to operate. I mean, it's just like a cell phone. Find the menu; it'll direct you to wherever you go, and real simple.
Electronics, Brett, it's just like anything electronic. It's like buying a new computer. The more often or once you upgrade, you just can't believe how you went without it. I again, same parent company, Navico. I have Simrad on my boat, the NSS Evo 2 touch systems. I have a 12-inch and a 9-inch, and you wouldn't believe how user-friendly they are. I mean, having no experience with them, it's just the way things work now. As soon as you get on the boat, your chart plotter has every contour. It looks like the most detailed, underwater, mountain range chart you've ever seen, and you literally can touch your finger on the 302 and it pops up, and if you hold it on the 302, a little screen pops up that just says, would you like to navigate here, yes or no? You click yes. Would you like to engage your autopilot? Hit yes again, and next thing you know, your boat's pointed to the 302 driving, and you can just worry about figuring out what song you want to listen to while you're on your way there. And everything's incorporated in the new electronics. I cannot begin to say enough good things about that Simrad system we have. It's fast. It's really, really easy to use. And that's the thing. Anybody that hops on the boat can do anything. Hey, check this, toggling between screens and splitting screens and overlaying your radar on your chart plotter. It's just the electronics have come such a long ways. And the new stuff from Simrad is just, you can't beat it. It's the stuff.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Hey, Brett, appreciate the phone call very much. Next up, let's talk to John. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. How are you?
Morning, John.
Hey, I wanted to ask, on the Maui gyms, I know they have the glass frames or the glass lenses, and what are some of the benefits of having glass versus plastic?
Good question.
Yeah, great question. I would say weight, number one. That's why a lot of us like the plastic lenses. A lot of the glass lenses could be prescription. Mm-hmm. It's all up to you. I know we wear glasses from the minute the sun comes up to the minute the sun goes down, and a light pair of glasses like the Maui gyms. I like the Haleakalas. For me, they fit my face fine. The glasses we're giving away today, the What's Up, I have those as loaner glasses on my boat, and just everybody digs those, especially the younger guys. But that's the benefit.
I opt for the glass. I even though, like, say, the beauty of the polycarbonate or those Maui Pures, they weigh nothing. I mean, they weigh absolutely nothing. The nice thing about glass is if you're a guy like me, I keep my glasses on the top of my hat, and they have fallen, 4 or 5 million times. The nice thing about glass is they're really, really scratch resistant. And fishing on the skiff, saltwater spray, a glass lens is not that the polycarbonates are susceptible to scratching all the time. I want to be very clear about that. But the glass, there's nothing better from it. So if you talk to somebody like Maui Mikey, any guy that's from Maui Gym would always want you to clean your glasses with a microfiber cleaning cloth. I'm a skiff guy. That doesn't happen ever. You can lick your finger, run it across the lens,
right thing.
grab your T-shirt, which is probably already salt crystalled up to begin with, And glass is really good for that. If you're a guy that's going to be cleaning your glasses with your T-shirt or whatever else dirty fish rag that's on the boat, glass is going to keep the scratches from happening. The cost is slightly more with glass, and the weight is slightly more, but the scratch resistance is one of the things that you'll get a benefit from. Those answer your questions up, John?
Yes, thank you, guys.
But I appreciate the phone call very much, and I'm a Piahi guy. That's the frame that fits me to bed, and that's really what it's all about. The lenses are great, and you can get just about any pair of Maui Jim lenses you want. What you really need to do, go down to a tackle store that's got, or a sunglass warehouse, or any good spot that's got a good selection of Maui Jims, and you just got to try the frames on to find the one that fits you right.
And the nice thing, if you come fishing with me, you have a choice of wearing World Cups, Piahis, Aliakalas, What's Up, and I have those available for all my guests that come on the boat. You know, there's like 15 pairs that they can try. So you know, that's another benefit, you know, for people to come out on the boat.
There's a reason that guys go fishing with you. The right stuff is always there. You had me at hot breakfast burritos, so everything else is just a bonus beyond that point. John, appreciate the phone call very much. Next up, let's talk to Cyrus, who's calling us from Wildomar. Good morning, Cyrus. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Is Fisherman's Landing gonna have kids fish free next month?
You know, I don't know, Cyrus, but we'll definitely find out. I know the tackle side of things a little bit more than the reservation side, but I can tell you one thing. Before the show is over, we'll get a hold of one of the guys at the landing and find out exactly what it is. I know that there are times that they do kids fishing months, and I know that the Dolphin a lot of times has had some kids fishing days during the week, and there's a lot of really good opportunities. A lot of times they'll coincide the free fishing days that the California Department of Fish and Game does, where an adult would need a license. They'll coincide that with free fishing for kids on the half-day boat. So there's a lot of kind of kids fishing opportunities, and we'll see if we can't get you an exact schedule for what's going on at Fisherman's Landing.
Okay,
thank you. Cyrus, we appreciate the phone call very much. Next up, talk to Mo. Mo's calling us from Vista this morning. Mo, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Yeah, hey Rick, I was wondering on this kite fishing.
Yeah.
Is there better kites than other kites, or are they all pretty much standard and it doesn't matter what you pay for one or anything?
There are a lot of really good kites out there, and they're not all necessarily the same. All of them work for sure, so any fishing kite that a guy has will work great, but all of them have pros and cons to them. One kite that we really like a lot is a kite that's made by Aftco, and one of the advantages of the Aftco kite is it's a square-framed kite, and the material that it's made with is waterproof, and that's a huge thing. So if you dunk your Aftco kite, you can shake it off, get the water off of it, and fly it again. Some of the cloth materials, like the SFE kites or the Lewis kites, they fly real easy. And in fact, they might even fly easier than the waterproof kites. But if they do go in the water, they're done until they're dry again. The other thing that a square-frame kite gives you is the option of attaching helium to it. So if you attach a helium balloon to your kite, then the balloon will provide the lift, making it super easy to fly, and then you can turn, you know, in almost any direction you want without the wind being in the kite. You know, otherwise you've always got to make your turns and tacks into the wind to keep the wind into your kite. So a square frame kite gives you the ability to attach a balloon to it. The other kite that's super popular is made by the Boston Big Game kite. That's the one that you see a lot of boats fishing with. It's the black kite that's got the little bag behind it. Probably it became the most popular one. That's an extremely easy kite to fly. It gets in the air real good. It stabilizes with that bag real good. But the disadvantages are you cannot attach helium to it. So if you're on a day where there's very little wind and it's hard to get the kite up, the helium will provide the lift, and you can't really attach helium to those Boston kites.
Oh, great. Sounds good. What's the run for that kite that you're talking about, the good one?
Well, like I said, they're all good, and kites range anywhere from about $60 to about $200. A Lewis kite's I think around $189. A Boston kite's about $60. Aftco is right in the middle. They're right around $100. They're easy to fly. When you do get them wet, you can shake them off. So yeah, I would say, like I say, between $60 and $200 is the range, and I would just go into a shop, let them know the type of fishing you're going to be doing, and they'll kind of dial you in for the right kite there.
Yeah, or you can go to AFCO.com and look it up and all the components that go with it. And I'm sure if you call there at the AFCO, they can help answer any questions you'd like about their kite.
And they'll probably help you, too, with the rigging. There's different styles of release clips that you can use. There's different ways of attaching your release clips to it. There's a lot of stuff. All of it works. Just some of it's going to work easier for you. Some of it's going to be easier on the rigging side. Some of it's going to be, some of it's a little more technical, but once you get it up and flying, you can fish more bait. So there's a lot of good options out there, Mo.
Okay, appreciate it.
Hey, you
Thank
got it. Appreciate the phone call. Thanks a lot for that. How about next up we talk to Rob. He's calling us from Pacific Beach on our local line. Again, if you want to get through an open line right now, get your shot at winning those pair of Maui Gyms, call us toll-free 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Rob, calling us from Pacific Beach. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
I drove over to the bay. It's cheap glass out here and absolutely gorgeous around Mission Bay right now.
That's a good thing.
By the way, I've got a question. My question is for just the general overall pole and for a rod and reel, what kind of cost are we looking at?
Well, for what kind of fishing, Rob?
Well, I mean, I know you can get specific, but what would be the best overall general pole you could think of around the bay and just, local, onshore, say,
Sure.
And what it would cost, for the rod and reel.
Well, let's ask you one more question. Do you fish with conventional tackle, or do you like a spinning rod and reel?
I like spinning rod.
Spinning rod, and so sometimes you might be fishing the bay, like walking down, fishing on the docks and rocks, and sometimes you might be fishing in a little skiff and catching spotted bay bass?
Exactly. Yeah.
You got a favorite spinning outfit, Benny?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite is Stratic 4000. The rod can vary, but I know I outfit mine with the Therese medium heavy or even the medium. If it's the bays, the medium is perfect fit for it. If you're going to fish outside, the medium heavy, either one of those two, the Therese, TZWS 72M or 72MH. Either one of those would be perfect fit for that 4000.
The beauty with a 4000 size spinning reel too, Rob, is you can let your budget dictate what you're going to be. And I know your question is what's the cost, and the cost really it ranges anywhere from about $60 all the way on up to about $250. And the reason I say that is you can base that on your budget and what you're looking for. Shimano has a nice spinning reel like a Sedona or a Sahara that's going to be under $100 that's going to do a great job. You can get a Stratic CI4 that's got a carbon fiber frame and super smooth, but maybe you're not looking to spend as much. What I would do is just go into I always stress that, go into a shop that's local, that's got a little bit of tackle, that's basically that has some options in the reels, because they're not going to try and sell you what they have. They're going to try and find the right thing that's in your budget. You don't. If a place only has one single spinning reel to sell you, well, of course, this is the one that we want to get you. But if you go into a shop that's got a fair amount of stock, that's got different things, you're going to be able to pull out 6 or 7 of those different spinning reels, all at 4,000 size, and you're just going to go over them. You're going to get to turn the handle, and you'll see why a $200 reel costs $100 more. And for you, it might not be worth it. You think, hey, this Sedona feels great. Yep. It's smooth. It looks good. It's only going to run me around $70. This is what I'm after. Or you might pick up that Stratic CI4 and be like, oh my gosh, this is the smoothest thing. I can hang. I worked a side job this week. I got an extra little money burning a hole in my pocket and go that route.
And if you're taking a cruise there through Mission Bay right now, you just roll into Dana Landing right there and talk to John and the boys in there, and I'm sure they can definitely help you out. Put a rod and reel in your hand and get a feel for it.
The beauty of going in there is not only do they have the right gear and the people to know what's going on, but they've also got the really good info. Those guys, especially if you are going to fish the shore and do a little pound in the beach there, those guys will know what directions to send you and the right baits to use.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I think that's what I'm going to do is go over to Dana.
That's a good spot for sure. See John and any of the guys in there, Bubba. Everybody will take really good care of you, Rob. Appreciate the phone call very much. Next up, let's talk to Chris. He's calling us from Imperial Beach this morning. Hi, Chris. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, how's it going?
Good morning, Chris.
Hey, I had a question for you. I know them fish out there are real line shy and everything. We had them boiling off the back of the boat yesterday and just couldn't get them to go. We're using 20-pound fluoro and small hooks and everything. but I was throwing the flat falls and snipers at them, but I didn't. I just had it tied off to the mono. Should I go to a fluorocarbon with that since they're so line shy, or does it not matter when you're throwing iron?
You know, a lot of times they're keyed in on just the bait itself. You know, the one thing about live bait fishing is the reason why you're fishing a little bit lighter line is you want that bait to be able to swim. You know, number 2, number 4 hook, especially if you got those 4-inch sardines, a little bit smaller. You want to be able to let that bait swim. As far as lures, I think you go up to even 40-pound, no problem, because they're going to focus in mainly on that lure dropping down and, you know, kind of yo-yoing it back and forth. So don't be line shy yourself as far as the lures are concerned. Bait-wise, for sure, 20-pound, number 2 hook, lively bait, nice easy cast. But the lures, power fish them, power fish them.
The one thing
that's what I thought, but it's just kind of frustrating going out there and putting 111 miles and having these fish jumping around the boat and
Roger that. Seen a lot of that this year. You just got to keep plugging away, man.
The one thing.
Oh yeah. It'll break loose.
The one thing with
break my spirit.
That's for sure. The one thing with the fluorocarbon too is, when they're biting the lure, you probably don't need it for the less visible factor. The fish is going to chase down a Colt sniper. They're going to eat that thing. Probably whether it's tied to mono or to fluoro. But the one advantage that you do have is the better abrasion resistance that fluorocarbon offers. And a lot of those lures that are getting bites are like Benny was saying, 60-gram Colt sniper, 80-gram Colt sniper, 100-gram flat fall. Those things a lot of times they'll just inhale them, and especially in the case of bluefin, those things got teeth, man, and they love, especially when they get straight up and down, they love shaking their head, and getting chewed off is a thing. So the fluorocarbon is not going to be a necessity, in my opinion, for getting a bite. But you know what? Fluoro's never going to hurt either. Do you need it? For sure not. If they're biting, the jig's good, hey, man, save the cash. No reason to put it on. But if it's touchy fishing, it sure isn't going to hurt your game, and the better abrasion resistance sure isn't a bad deal either.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true. And then you can even get away with going with like a 40-pound fluoro versus like a 20-pound or something like that.
There you go.
And you don't want to. You wouldn't want to throw an iron with 20-pound fluoro, would you? You'd want to.
Negative.
Yeah, never. I got a lure tied on my rod and we're fishing offshore. It's pretty much never under 40-pound. We fish 40-pound and 40-pound and 50-pound. I like. I fish power, usually 65 or 80-pound Power Pro, and then a piece of 40-pound Seagar fluorocarbon.
Nice.
Right on, Chris.
Nice.
Hey, appreciate the phone call. I can tell you the one thing, too. The best thing you can do is just keep going, because nothing does better than time on the water when you get on a good school. Appreciate the phone call very much. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out what lucky guy's got himself a brand new pair of Maui Jim sunglasses, as well as a 4-pack of Kicker Jigs. You stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090.
Yellowtail and bluefin are here now, and it's time to go fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. The perfect rod to handle tough fish like these is Terramar from Shimano. The secret? TC4 construction. That delivers a rod that is light and sensitive, yet tough and powerful. Shimano Terramar should be your next rod. Fisherman's Landing Tackle has the best inventory in the country of Terramar rods and the experts to help you select them. Visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, or on the web at saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades, with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. From a half-day trip on the Dolphin, overnight trips, and soon 3-quarter-day island trips on the Liberty. You can count on Fisherman's Landing to deliver the best. Check the website for all that is going on, or call Fisherman's Landing at 619-221-8500. Book now at fishermanslanding.com.
Imagine being home in the morning and fishing yellowtail and calicos at Cedros Island by the afternoon. Now you can with Cedros Adventures. Experience world-class yellowtail and calico fishing aboard comfortable pangas with local captains that know the island hotspots. Stay in Cedros Adventures' own private waterfront hotel and experience first-class meals and service with pickups in L.A., Orange, or San Diego County. You hop aboard a scheduled flight to Cedros Island to begin an incredible experience. Trips are all-inclusive and offer old-world hospitality and fantastic fishing. Cedros Adventures. Call 310-435-6353 or check cedrosadventures.com for rates and more information.
This is Ron from Fast Lane Kayaking in Mission Bay. When it comes to Hobie kayaks and kayak fishing, nobody
does it better than my guys at Fastlane. Our massive 5,500 square foot location is loaded with Hobie hands-free Mirage Drive kayaks. Plus, we got Salty Gear clothing and lots of fishing accessories for kayaks. What makes our location special is we offer free demo rides. You can come down and try before you buy. Take a new Hobie Eclipse out on the water, Mirage Drive kayak, or stand-up paddleboard. We want you to find your fun on the water. A family-owned and operated for almost 4 decades at Dana Landing across from SeaWorld on Mission Bay. Check out FastlaneKayaking.com.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best NFL coverage is right here. San Diego sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. I want to remind you this portion of the show is sponsored in part by Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charts. Focus your offshore fishing in the most productive areas by using Terrafin. And now with the Terrafin Mobile, you can take it with you everywhere you go on your iPad, your iPhone, or your Android device. Just download the latest charts before you leave, and all the information is right there for you. Check Terrafin.com for more information. And wanted to also pass along free kids fishing at Fisherman's Landing. It's every Sunday with a paid adult. You're going to get one kid's ticket absolutely free. So if you want to go on that kids fishing trip. And again, big winner, brand new pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. At the end of the show today, it was going to Andy in Chula Vista. Andy, congratulations. You're going to love those Maui Jims. And then the winner of the hand-picked pack of kicker jigs. The 4-pack is going to Candace in San Clemente, guys. Congratulations. Nice. Benny, can't thank you enough. I know you got a super busy schedule, so to peel you off of the water and have you come hang and talk fishing with us for a couple hours, we sure appreciate it, man. Totally appreciate you coming with us. And if somebody wants to join you, go fishing, do the Coastal Charters thing, how do we find you?
Once again, thanks, Ricky. Ben at fishcoastalcharters.com, fishcoastalcharters.com, or 310-779-0397.
Awesome. Appreciate it very much, Benny.
Thanks, Ricky.
Appreciate you listening today. We got another couple of great shows coming for you next weekend. Next Saturday, Kevin Kelly from West Coast Marine. And then Sunday, Michael and the gang from the Federation of Fly Fishers. Going to be a couple of great shows. You stay tuned. Another great show coming up next. CSK's pregame show right here on the Mighty 1090.